Appreciate Breeze Nation for rocking with us out here, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. If you haven't done so, sign up for Aura in the description below. Appreciate everybody who shows love to us on that as well. Breeze Nation in the building. Listen, we got 272 in this mug, 280 something in this mug, man. Let's get it up over 300 in the building, man. Appreciate everybody. Let's have this conversation, Joe. Let's talk about some of these. Oh, what you got? What you got, Joe?
He was saying, Black Belt Ben said, why do you think that because the media says Pohl has to take Williams means he has to? He said the same thing last year about quarterbacks. If CW is better than JF1, it's not by much. I didn't say that. I'm saying that the media, it's Mel Kiper. It's all these people.
Up one dude every year. Like,
it's like I didn't say that. If he's, I think Jay Daniels.
In the building. What's good, man?
Huh?
My guy Javier, he used to hook me up over at the T-Mobile, and I had a fire YouTube channel all at once. I was like, "You got both?" Like,
but in my opinion, I'm looking at Jay Daniels as a quarterback that's ascending. He got better, and my point is, even with Caleb Williams, I would rather you can sell that pick for the highest bidder, period, because that's great. If they think he's the next coming of whatever, cool. But I saw that if he's the greatest generational quarterback, then he should have won the Heisman 2 years in a row. It should be shut down. He's been running college forever. And so that's just
only like one player ever that's won the Heisman 2 years in a row.
Who
don't they get like Heisman fatigue? I feel like they talked about him in the pod. Actually, they did. He went to Ohio State. I think there's only like one. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe somebody else won it 2 years in a row.
I don't know.
But I don't.
I mean, my point is that when you say generational and when you hype this guy up, it's, he's above everyone. But another guy was basically had more rushing yards, threw for over 4,000. He looks great. I've been watching some highlights of him and just some of his tape, and it's like Jay Daniels looks like a problem,
Jaden Daniels looks like he has some talent as well. I think here's the thing. This draft is so different because there's multiple names that you can go with, and you just feel like, all right, I can see that working out. I don't think there's multiple names you could take at one, right? Like, listen, if the Bears took Marvin Harrison Jr. first overall, what would we all say? We would say we missed out on an opportunity, right? Like, if you take Marvin Harrison Jr., now you get your guy. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. You know that you got the best wide receiver in the draft, maybe the best wide receiver in the draft. To me, I ain't gonna lie, I think he's the best wide receiver we've seen in the draft. Chase was a dog. Probably since Jefferson. I think he's better than Chase. I think he'll be better than Chase, I should say. I'd say probably since Jefferson. Because Justin Jefferson was before Jamar Chase, right? That's how that worked? I think so. But
after each other like a year.
Yeah, they were close. But let's talk about some of these potential trades that could come in for the number one pick. I mean, Field Yates talking about trading the number 2 pick, a 2024 second rounder and a 2025 first rounder. If you were to move back one pick with Washington. And I guess my question would be this, right? A great article. Check this out. Phil Yates and Courtney Cronin over on ESPN. Courtney has it on the Twitter right now. Is that generational talent? Or not generational talent, I should say. Is that a generational haul? Is that a historic haul? That's the word that they used, right? I had to work it out to get there. Is that a historic haul?
Well, no, because of the where the pick is. Like, I think we need to really there's a score of how the number 1 pick is worth so many points, number 2. So where they're picking, the lower you go, we talked about this before. The lower you go, like if you go down to 8 or 9, that's where you get all those extra hauls of picks. Now, it would be interesting to get a player with that moving down, or 1 to 2 and things of that nature. So at that, what you're trying to do is you pick the picks for the future.
Yeah.
And at least if you get a player now, and then you got, to me, that means I would say if you keep Fields and move down to 2, and then you could take your MSJ and everybody's happy. Everybody gets Marvin Harrison Jr. I still want my left tackle, though. Like, I want my left tackle. We might end up keeping this 3 technique situation that we had. We might end up picking a defensive end in a free agency. So the 9th pick, though, I like the idea that you trade down to get the center.
Yeah.
So if at least if you get Harrison, keep Fields, and you got a center, you pretty much have improved the offense tremendously.
I think what was interesting was Courtney Cronin's spin on this. She talked about how the Bears are looking for something more in the haul that the Dolphins got in 2021 from the 49ers when they moved up from 12 to 3 to take Trey Lance. She feels like the Bears would have to more so get back a player with even more draft capital on the table, or you would have to either add more draft capital or send back a player like Terry McLaurin in the package for the Bears to be swayed. And I think that that would be an interesting scenario there, right? Sending back somebody like Scary Terry, because now you're this is still about a business, right? Ryan Poles handled business the perfect way last year. At the end of the day, your job is to make them so bad that you're still good next year in the draft, right? So you trade away that pick, you get their 2025 what was that, first round pick as well, right? And you add a player into that. You add in Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin being taken out of that equation makes Caleb Williams worse. That Washington's sitting there during the season going, well, we need a number one wide receiver. Where are we going to get that at? I don't know why they went 1950s radio voice there.
So this was my initial thought of this whole draft, number one pick, and all this stuff with all these quarterbacks. And I feel like teams want to move up. I like our Hunt's comment of like, take our time, move down methodically. My initial thought was we go from 1 to 2, we pick up, and then someone's going to want somebody else, and we move down. Because if we take the receiver, those quarterbacks are selling those picks. If we move from 2 down to 3 or 4 or 5, because New England might want to take somebody. So, like, to me, that was my thought. Like, initially, if we keep Fields, we can get these picks to build this team and have a super squad. Because it's not just about the starters; it's also about the depth.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a major drop off if we have at least 2 or 3 other tackles or guards when someone's either hurt or down. We have the depth on D line. That's where we need the most depth. And if we're able to build this team and stack up, and then we built the super team for the next 3, 4, 5 years, and then once those contracts start hitting, well, some of them we got to trade, some of them we got to let go. But I'm looking at this like a Dallas Cowboys type of situation where you're able to get this influx of talent and build a super team through the draft. This is a great setup. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah, and I see it's hold on, let me go back to this one. Black Belt Ben talking about, is McLaurin getting paid? Poles is not paying $40 million at receiver. Why not? It's time to invest in the offense. It's time to invest in the offense.
What's my
you
man?
spent years investing in the defense. Yes.
I see you. I'm not sure. I said 2. That's it.
You said what?
He's saying Joe was tripping about 2 to 3 signings in free agency. You don't spend big on other teams' leftovers. You find a center talent and pay reasonably not top dollar. We ain't leaving line up to pay JJ. Okay. I see I have to be very careful about words that I say.
Yeah, that's how media works.
I mean, everything is analyzed.
That's how media works, yes.
I understand that. I'm saying at the max, maybe 2. And I said after that, it's mid-contracts that fit the team. So we can't afford to have and spend over $20 million for players. I said that $70 million cap is really not a lot of money. That's 1 free agent, maybe 2, and then everything else is we got to have room for the rookie contracts and maybe some mid-level type contracts for some other players. We need a Akeem Hicks type of come up. We got this guy off the scrap heap and he's a starter.
Right. I mean, yeah, you want to find a guy that makes an impact, but I think here's the thing. You do have to at a certain point, Bears fans, we're going to have to change our brains. You know why this feels good? Because we're spending money on defense.
Hold on, we got the other trade. So we got 3 trades to go through, right?
Yeah, we do. So we got more trades to go through. The other trade was to New England. New England trades away the number 3 pick, 2024 second round pick, and a 2025 first round pick as well to move down to the number 3 pick. Still puts you in range for MHJ. You get a second round pick and you get a future first.
Right. So you can get your starting safety. With that second round pick, you can get probably a safety or another impact player. Like hopefully, because there's a feeling that center may not be there in the first round.
Yeah.
And you might have to now you could trade down if it's trading that 9th pick down, right? Because by 9, you're not getting Alt. You may not even get Fashanu. So if you trade down,
I think if I'll say this, you have to think about this. That would throw everything off. Right? Because right now, if the Bears took Marvin Harrison Jr., which I think you would at 3 if you move down, you get the extra draft capital. Arizona's expecting Marvin Harrison Jr. to be there at 4 because they're expecting the first 3 teams to take a quarterback. Now you just thrown off their whole game plan. I said this yesterday. It's like when kid takes a quarterback in the first round, and we're all just like, "What the?" Right? Like, and now everybody starts taking a quarterback because everybody. I think that starts the run. So you would see MHJ come off. You would see Roma Dunze come off probably 4 to Arizona. Now 5. Now people start to panic. Okay, maybe somebody goes quarterback there. Who's 5
Maybe
right
not.
now?
Maybe they take a tackle.
Who's 5 right now? 5 is Chargers.
Oh, I actually have that, Pat, because I actually didn't delete that from yesterday. Let's go. Bing.
That's the wrong one.
Sorry.
You're doing too much. See, try to get cute.
Oh no, that's because it was highlighted. It's right here.
Try to get cute.
Bing. There you go.
Oh, hold on. Let's get you full screen here. All right. So draft right now. I give you the full screen right now. I'm just talking behind you, Paul. That's crazy work. Watch yourself. But you got a flag. You got a flag.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play, yes. So 5 right now, you got the Giants sitting there. Do they go wide receiver? Do they go quarterback? They're probably going to go quarterback.
Why wouldn't they take a tackle?
Not now. I because they have no quarterback.
Who, Arizona?
No, I'm talking about at 4, Arizona's going wide receiver.
Why wouldn't they take? I'm just saying, like,
because if you take Marvin Harrison off the board, their big issue right now, 1, they went tackle last year, they went left tackle with Paris Johnson, and 2, you're in a situation where you're trying to figure out, okay, who's the weapon, right? Hollywood Brown is
I get it. I get it.
Best weapon there.
I get it. I'm just saying that.
So like to me, I would think that they would go wide receiver there to get you another weapon. Now 5, you got the Giants in there. They may go quarterback, but now 6, maybe the Chargers go wide receiver. Maybe the Chargers go tech. But I think what I'm saying is, right, if the Bears were to do that, they take Marvin Harrison at 3. That's the thing to me that starts the, oh my God, we got to get a receiver because it's these top 3 guys, when like it's really a deep receiver class. You can get somebody in the second round. You can get somebody in the third round and still feel pretty good about what you got at the wide receiver position.
Yeah. Here's the third trade option.
Third trade option here, number 8 pick to Atlanta, 2025 first, 2025 second, 2026 first, 2026 second. This is the haul. This is the generational haul. And I think that you could possibly even work out a player in this deal as well. But this is what Field Yates is saying would be the trade that it would take for the Atlanta Falcons to move up. I wouldn't be mad at that. Yeah, I mean, like I feel like that's a trade that seems a little bit more realistic. You get down to 8, you still have an opportunity to probably take one of the left tackles that is available. You're sitting at 9 already. Maybe you can get there, right? You end up just attacking the trenches in the first round in that situation there, right? Like, because you're going to be too far out of range to get the wide receiver. You're going to be too far out of range to get Marvin Harrison Jr., I should say.
Hey Pat. Over 300
in the chat. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. You're going to be too far out of it to get Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe Roma Dunze, maybe Malik Neighbors, some names that could pop up there. But with that first round pick there, I'm sorry, with that number 8 pick overall, right? You kind of look at that and say, okay, I'm sitting 8 and 9. I can attack defensive line or offensive line there.
But you might get, it's either Alder Fashanu or, and so now you got the back-to-back picks at 8 and then 9.
Now here's the problem with that one though. That is all again, that's 2025 and 2026 draft capital. That's not 2024 draft capital. So you're not adding anything to this draft.
Right.
So that's why I say you would probably need some kind of player back. The Bears are looking to add something into this draft, and let me see here.
I don't think they would do that. I don't even think Atlanta would do that trade. To me, that makes no sense.
Well, I mean, they do need a quarterback, right? In that situation, you're not getting Justin Fields. They do need a quarterback.
No, they do, but I'm saying for us, all we get is the 8th pick, and then we have all this draft for next year. So now we have to flip those picks.
Well, you got to flip 9 probably.
You got to. Well, even if you take those picks, you're trading those picks in this year some of them to get something to move back up.
Yeah, but you gotta get 9 bait. You gotta trade 9 in that situation to me, probably, right? Like I would think you do have to throw a player in there probably because now I'm not getting the guy I wanted. Now I'm not getting the quarterback or the stud wide receiver. Maybe I'm getting Joe Alt, or maybe I'm getting Jared Verse. Maybe I'm getting why can't I think of the young man that's out of the other edge rusher?
Oh, Chop Robinson?
No, not Chop Robinson.
Oh, Lay2 from UCLA.
Hold on. Dallas Turner. I said Georgia. Alabama. Dallas Turner from Alabama. Right? Maybe you can get a Dallas Turner there if he ends up falling, right? Like maybe you go there, but I think 9 in that situation, you still have no second round picks there.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You
like
got to
that
move
pick
back one more time to me. You don't utilize that number 9 pick and you get the second round picks, but now you're giving them the quarterback of their future, possibly. You're giving them the guy that maybe puts Atlanta over the top. And so what is that first round pick going to be? What is that second round pick going to be? I don't know. Of the 3 trades,
I get 2 starters out of this draft with Washington.
Yes.
If I go with this trade,
you pick right, yes.
If this trade, I still get 2 starters. It's the same deal. You're just moving to 3.
Well, you don't get 2 starters. You don't get 2 stars. Well, yeah, you do. You do get 2 starters there.
Yeah, you get 2 starters.
You get the number 3 pick and you get the number 34 pick. Yes.
So you get it's the same. Actually, there's no real. It's the same trade in a sense. Oh, because their second round is a 34th. Yep. It's a higher second round pick.
So they're giving you the higher second round pick, the lower first round pick.
So 34 means that is the second pick in the second round, versus maybe the 6th or 7th pick in the second round. So yeah, I mean, okay, that makes it kind of.
And you probably get Marvin Harrison Jr. out of the deal, or you can go quarterback, but now you're getting a quarterback. Or there's this other Heisman winner, or you can go quarterback there, and you can create the situation that you have talked about. That is what he had in Kansas City. Because here's the one thing: if we draft Jaden Daniels at 3, and we take somebody else 9. Nobody's going to be complaining that Justin Fields starts in front of Jaden Daniels.
I think it creates a firestorm. I think
but it's a firestorm to us, right? Like here's the thing. That's why Justin Fields unfollowed the Bears and the NFL on Instagram. That's why Ryan Poles deleted Twitter off his phone, because it's a firestorm for us. It has nothing to do with what they're doing in the building.
I'm saying at the game when the fans turn on him, and it's like the minute he makes a mistake, and it's just the boos. We want that. It's like it's going to create
fans that were chanting, "We want Fields."
That's what I'm saying. Like it just, I think we should just have finality to the whole situation. Don't mess around with that kid like that. Let him move on.
I would say that if you have figured out the quarterback position before, you need as many bites at the apple at quarterback as you can. The last quarterback that we had here that had a semblance of good play is what? Eric Kramer?
Yeah, but he got killed.
Okay.
And the problem, that's a common thing with all of our Bears quarterbacks for the most part. They got killed. We got to get the line. That's why you have to kind of make these trades and build this line. It doesn't matter who you bring in there. Nobody's overcoming a bad offensive line. Jay Cutler, even though I'm not necessarily a huge Jay Cutler fan, he got his head kicked in. Well, I remember that Giants game. I think he got sacked like 25 times.
It was a lot.
He got killed. Like, you have to build the team up, and you can't we'll just throw a quarterback in there and he's going to Superman it.
Yes.
He can't do that. So it doesn't matter if it's Fields. It doesn't matter if it's Jaden. Like, I prefer that you build the team up first so that you don't get these guys killed. Building, and see, the problem is you give them bad traits. They develop bad tendencies, and then they're a bust.
Yeah, but here's the part where your scenario works out in that situation, right? You're sitting there, you're still building the team. You take the next quarterback, maybe that comes in there. Oh my goodness, here we go. Justin Fields is the answer. Maybe Justin Fields isn't the answer. Guess what? Alex Smith wasn't the answer. Drew Bledsoe wasn't the answer. They gave him money. I mean, sometimes that guy isn't the answer, but sometimes he's the you're taking the lumps while the answer gets in, until the answer's ready to get in there.
But even Belichick, I mean, he's like, look, I'm building this team. Yes, I just got this $100 million quarterback in Drew Bledsoe. Or we got this quarterback on a rookie deal, aka Tom Brady, and I'm able to build this team. Because of how he had Brady, he was able to restructure that team. How many times? Shrewd moves. He cut Ty Law. He cut
a lot of people.
He cut and great players.
He cut the team.
He did, but he was able to, because he's able to manage that cap, manage that team, and take advantage of some of those small contracts. And then when it came time for Tom, I mean, Tom wanted to win.
Where did Bledsoe end up?
Dallas.
That was the end. He died in Dallas.
Dallas.
No, after the Patriots, there was another team. He didn't He died in Dallas. He didn't play well in Dallas.
I think Tony Romo took over from that. Bill Parcells had him down there.
Yeah, but that's
Dallas.
2001. Drew Bledsoe retired in like 2007.
In Dallas. When did Romo get
Yes, but like 2006. That's what I'm saying. Like
I'll look it up.
There's a team. I guess I could look it up.
Nation. Does anybody from Breeze Nation
could look it up?
Where's Locky at? You know what I'm saying? Where's the stat?
I feel like
where's Hayes at? Hayes is always cooking somebody. Why don't you be useful, Hayes, and look up some stats?
I feel like it's Buffalo. Wasn't he in Buffalo for a little while?
You could be right.
I feel like they traded him to Buffalo because that was the big controversy where it was like, do we really want a quarterback that Belichick doesn't want, or do we?
Darius Powell. I think he said Buffalo.
Okay, see, Breeze Chelsea. I remember a little bit. I remember on the game I had Bledsoe, but I knew he wasn't in a Patriots jersey or a Dallas jersey.
So 3 years in Buffalo, 2 years in Dallas.
He was decent in Buffalo too, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was nice. I think he was motivated. He was pissed.
Yeah, he was pissed.
Matter of fact, he killed. He threw for 4,300 yards. 0-2.
Trade me, will ya?
24 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. He had 61% completion. No, he did his thing about
shout out Drew Bledsoe. Hey, I would love to get Drew Bledsoe on this show just to be like, hey man, so you know what it's like to be the other guy.
No, but I think
Bledsoe got a ring though, didn't he? Because the first one he was still on the team.
He got a ring. He got a ring on the Patriots because he came back to win the game in the playoffs.
Yes, Brady. Something happened. Brady got hurt or something, and he came back in and went. Yeah, that's that. But shout out Drew, man.
You know what's interesting? I had a thought. I had a thought.
Bill Belichick was in a throuple out here.
I had a thought. Think about this. This almost reminds me. This draft could be potentially like the 2003 draft with Eli, Rivers, and Roethlisberger.
Could be. That's what they're setting it up for.
Like, to me, you're not losing. Like, everybody's like Caleb.
Nah, you are. If you end up with Eli, you losing.
Well,
Eli won.
Rivers.
Eli
I would
won.
rather have Rivers. I would have the Rivers or Roethlisberger.
Yes, right. Hey, look. Eli won.
Eli.
But you would rather have Rivers or Roethlisberger.
I wanted Rivers because Rivers was a gunslinger. That joker threw like 6,000 yards. He had some crazy numbers, like 60,000 yards, whatever it was. He had something coming out of college.
It was just that fourth quarter, boy. You knew what you was gonna get.
He was nuts.
Are we down 1 touchdown and we're gonna get to the 3-yard line? Phillip Rivers goal line turnover. Here we come.
Shout out to Diaz, my boy Diaz Millennia. What's happening, man?
Let's get to these Fields trades here. We do got to talk about these as well, because I think the Justin Fields trades are. I mean, listen, you got to talk about both sides of the debate. That's the one thing that I do love that we do that most shows don't do. They just say, this is our opinion. And because this is our opinion, we're going to talk about what our opinion is and how we feel about it, and not like actually explore the devil's advocate. That is the great part about having Kid on here, because no matter what, he is always the devil's advocate. But with him not here, we still got to talk about the flip side of this, where maybe the Bears do end up going out and trading away Justin Fields. What kind of capital could they get? But first, I got to tell you guys all about Underdog. Hold on, let me make sure I can pull these up here. Yeah, they got to make sure we got all this stuff on the screen for us here. File. Here we go.
You want that?
There it is. I got her. Shout out Underdog Fantasy out here, man. Underdog out here supporting us. They are the best place where you can literally go out and play fantasy sports. I mean, the easiest way to get in on any NFL, MLB, NBA action, it's Underdog Fantasy. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite player, and you can get player or least favorite player and their stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 and 5 players and fill out your pick'em entry and get every single pick right. Here's the cool part about this, though, right? With Underdog, yes, you want to get every single pick right, but if you don't get every single pick right, they also have the insurance policy that allows you to get 4 out of the 5 picks right, just in case somebody ends up going down, somebody ends up getting hurt, and you're still able to make money. Sign up now with the promo code TWCB, and you can double your money up by up to $500. That is promo code TWCB, and you can up your money up to $500. Once again, sign up now with the promo code TWCB, and you'll double your first deposit up to $100 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit of $10 or more. Deposit $100 and get $100 free. All right, man, let's keep this thing moving along, dog. Yeah, I mean, you know how we do out here, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Let's jump into this. Let's jump into these Justin Fields potential trades that Field Yates has come up with, and some of Courtney Cronin's rebuttals to these trades, whether they should make it or not. Started off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, to me, interesting trade here. They'll offer a second round pick, the number 51 overall pick, and a 2024 fourth rounder. Those are 2 players that you can actually get in this draft that can make an impact. 51 right now. Now, the fact that they're offering the fourth rounder maybe makes this a little bit more enticing. They hold on to their first round pick. That, to me, I think is an interesting one. Atlanta also coming with an interesting scenario of just that second round pick. I think I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more maybe from Atlanta, but I guess that depends on if you're starting up the bidding war. That second round pick is more at 43. The Raiders is still an interesting one now. A 2024 third and wide receiver Hunter Renfrow. The fact that the Raiders are even attached to Justin Fields' name at all with Luke Getsy over there is the funniest thing to me in the world. But when you look at these 3 trades, Joel, that Field Yates has laid out, do you feel like any of these are worth taking? Do you feel like any of these are what the Bears are actually going to end up with?
I would say honestly that Pittsburgh trade. You got a second rounder and a fourth. That's, I mean, like I said, you're talking about getting a potential. It's hard to get, Fields is not necessarily proven. It's still a slight ascension, and to be able to get something for him. On one hand, though, I think it shows you that he has the respect of other teams that they're willing to trade for him, which begs to differ. Why trade him? Because you're able to get, he's worth something to at least 2 or 3 teams.
Right.
So, but if I'm going to get something, because I mean, like we said the other day, Trey Lance got a 4th round pick he didn't fulfill
unsuccessful. He just didn't play. I don't even know if it was unsuccessful. He just didn't play.
Yeah, I guess.
Trey,
so. I mean,
Trey played what? Trey's time in San Francisco probably 6 games.
Yeah. What's his name? Who is? Oh, shout out to Muck, the general.
Oh, that's boy, here we go. You know, Joe loves Muck.
I love some Muck.
Hey,
sorry. So wait. No.
Crazy.
I challenged that.
That's crazy.
I'm shouting out.
You challenging that one? You challenging that one?
Challenge flag thrown. Anyways, I would say that, man, you made me miss my thought. What was I saying?
Talk about Trey Young or Trey Lance only going for a 4th.
Oh no, the Arizona guy. Somebody brought out one of the chat and had said Josh Rosen went for a second round pick.
Yeah.
So I mean, technically that's for a first round pick, young quarterback. That's kind of seems to be the barometer. So that's fair. And you get a 4th round pick on top of that. So Pittsburgh That would be the first one. But I read a report. I read somewhere that I don't think they're sticking with. Hopefully, I didn't read something wrong. They're sticking with Kenny Pickett. They're not going for.
I mean, listen, everybody's sticking with Kenny Pickett until there's a better option, right? Like, But there seems like there's a lot of better options. Like that's why I love the draft, right? It's like, we love this guy. We're all in on this guy. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Is Justin Fields available? Hold on now. We'd all rather have Justin than Kenny Pickett now. Hold on now.
But what you want is that if there is a bidding war for him, that's great. It's 2 or 3 or 4 teams that are vying for his services. And for them, it's a low draft pick to give up to get a quarterback.
No,
and they could take the flyer. It's like it's the reverse of Chase Claypool.
I'm not gonna lie. What I would take is probably the Atlanta, only the second round pick straight up because it's higher. There's a lot of good second round talent in here that allows you the opportunity to possibly trade down as well. It doesn't mean you have to stay there. Don't mean you got to stay there, right? But you're taking that pick, and maybe you can move down and still end up getting the second and the fourth, right? You also got to look at where that pick is at. 43 to 51. That's a lot of players.
It's just 7.
A lot of players, dog.
8. It's just 8 players. I'm just saying, but that's you still get a fourth.
You're still getting a fourth, but who's to say you can't find a fourth somewhere else? Also, the Bears have 2 fourths already.
So now,
the fourth round is not the fourth round is not a round that we're too worried about. You would have maybe, right, you get that third, fourth, and you feel like you can move a little bit more, right? You could package a couple of them, move back into the third for somebody. But I just feel like, right, this is a draft right now where if you end up getting 43 from Atlanta, this is a best player available draft. Right? Like the players that are on the board, yes, you're going to be able to find some sleepers, but there's some best players available that to me you want to take.
Yeah.
And I just, not to say that you can't still get guys. There's a bunch of different ways that you can get guys on this list. But that 43 right there is like, that looks like perfect for me. And no, I don't think it's enough for Justin Fields. I don't think any of those trade packages are enough for Justin Fields, but I think that they're what you're going to get for Justin Fields in the scenario that 2 of the 3 teams are really the only 2 teams that are realistic. The third team to me does not feel realistic in the slightest. And I mean, why would Oakland, why would Getsy want to do this again?
Yeah, I don't even think it makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see what ends up happening. We hopefully don't have too much more on this. Just like Justin Fields, we are all sick of the quarterback talk, but we are going to continue to have it. Probably not every day, though. I guarantee you we probably won't have quarterback talk tomorrow. You said what?
Did we do 300 in the chat?
I believe we did, but just in case, over 300 in the chat. Pow, 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 pow. That's what we need. Just somebody just pow, 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 pow. Hey, we appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love to another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. If you haven't done so, which I know at least over 200 of you haven't because we only got 119 likes, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. As always, for Joel, the super producer Joel Holt, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down, and we'll see what this team ends up doing. Peace.
All right, y'all.